Virtual reality, or VR, is a new area for education. It's going to develop really quick, it's going to become part of everyday life. So we've started to explore sessions with schools where we link in the curriculum outcomes with materials available in virtual reality.
So today we've been running a virtual reality workshop with a group of students.
Have a look up. What can you see?
We've been looking at some different areas. We've been into space. We went up to the top of the Empire State Building and looked out at the whole of New York. And then we also went back in time into the trenches of World War I.
So virtual reality provides students with the opportunity to experience things they may never see.
Let's go land on the moon. Okay, let's go.
They feel like they're there, so they start asking questions about what's around them. And the great thing about the app that we're using today, Google Expeditions, is it gives you all that information.
So as the technology develops in virtual reality, we will be able to develop the workshops to be more advanced and to use more advanced technology. But the key is to make sure it always comes back to the learning outcomes.
There's been a lot of research that shows that spatial memory allows you to embed memories much more deeply than reading from text or from watching a video. And using virtual reality, we can embed that spatial memory and assign it with the facts that they need to learn. It allows the students to remember things much easier and in much more detail.
Can you see these soldiers down here?
Yeah, who are they? British? Or...
Virtual reality at the moment is new, but in a very short space of time, there's going to be the ability for teachers to create content specifically designed for their lessons so they can place students in immersive environments and then base their lesson plans around virtual reality.
I think it's really powerful. And there's so many different places that you can go, so many different ways that you can learn using virtual reality.
Virtual reality can be an amazing thing. It gives people the opportunity to experience things they wouldn't otherwise be able to, like flying or travelling through space, as well as more down-to-earth activities such as just getting a good workout. It's not quite so easy for everyone though. With virtual reality, or VR, you use real-world movements to control your actions in the virtual world. This is a big part of what makes it so immersive. But what happens when your real-world movements are limited as a result of disability? It means some VR games and experiences are simply not an option for you. For example, a game may require you to turn around, but if you use a wheelchair, that's not so easy, especially if you're holding the controllers. And some disabilities mean you can't grip things firmly, so you may not be able to hold the controllers at all, or you might have problems using the buttons. Thankfully, there's a solution. Walking VR is software that allows you to adapt a VR environment so that limitations in your movement don't have to mean limitations in gameplay. It works on the Steam platform and integrates with the Steam VR environment, meaning it can be used successfully with almost any game. Let's look at 4 ways Walk-in VR can adapt an existing virtual reality environment to make it more usable by people with disabilities. The first is a feature called Virtual Movement. This is helpful for when you can't walk, but you can move your hands and hold a controller. To use it, you simply grab space with a button and then move or turn around. The second is Controller Position Adjustment. With a condition like muscular dystrophy, for example, you might be able to hold the controllers but not maintain them at the height required by the game. Position adaptation allows you to adjust the position in which the controllers are visible in the VR environment. In the simplest case, this means showing the controllers higher in VR than they are in reality. But there are more advanced options too, like using rotation or the distance the controllers are from your body. The boost part of this feature amplifies your physical gestures. This turns small movements in the real world into much larger ones in the VR environment, making it easier to pick up or throw virtual items. This can be particularly helpful if you have a limited range of hand or arm movements. Oh, and you can also adjust the controller position for each hand individually. This can be helpful where one hand or arm is weaker than the other, for those that have had a stroke, say. It means you can compensate for the weaker arm, enabling you to bring the virtual hand up into your field of view. This is something that can have a positive psychological effect. And there are more parameters that you can adjust besides. The third feature is gameplay with Personal Assistant. Some people can move the controllers well enough, but have problems with buttons and other tactile aspects of gameplay. Gameplay with Personal Assistant allows another person to assist the disabled player using a separate game controller. They can make helpful adjustments to the VR position and also perform button presses, making gameplay easier for the disabled user. Finally, there is hand tracking. Many people have problems holding controllers, those with some forms of cerebral palsy for example. You could attach the controllers to yourself in some way, but this can be uncomfortable and they can be easily dropped. By using Walk-in VR in conjunction with Kinect and potentially other tracking devices, you can interact with VR directly, using your hands as controllers. Indeed, many games and applications can be played this way, including workout routines. Put together, all these features mean you can finally focus on the whole point of the exercise, playing the game. We're so excited to be able to open these possibilities up to a wider audience. Walk-in VR is available now on Steam. Install it today and find out how much it can help you.